Are you a risk taker? Everyone needs to be real with someone. The Bible tells us in James 5:16 to confess our faults one to another and pray for each other. I don't have to condone your sin. I only have to accept where you are in your progress to overcome it. Maybe the Holy Spirit has just convinced you of something to work on, and you want prayer for help, not condemnation. We all know what pit that comes from. When my husband and I were dating, we read a book together by John Powell. The book was called Why Am I Afraid to Tell You Who I Am? It left me with a very profound image of love. The heart of the story is simply this: if I tell you who I am, then you'll know. There will be nothing hidden. My wounds, my weaknesses, my strengths, my quirks, my devastations, my moments of victory, what makes me laugh, and what causes my blood to boil. My history is opened. You know all there is to know about me. What now? You may not like what you know, especially having viewed the entire package. You may decide, this parcel's not for me. Then I'd find myself alone and naked. I may be afraid to share myself so openly the next time, when the opportunity arises. And sure enough, it does. Only this time I use caution. I avoid my hurts and the secrets of my past. After all, this is a new day, a new chance for happiness. I communicate, but only through idle chatter. I smile and go through the motions of life, but never sharing my pain. Pain can make people feel uncomfortable, because more often than not, some think they have to solve my problems. They may not understand how just getting it out is such a big help to me. And if they actually wanted to do something for me, they could remember me in prayer, not telling another living soul about it, only God. Oh, why don't I feel loved or understood? Here's the answer in a nutshell. If you share who you are, you have nothing left to hide. If who you are isn't enough, you risk rejection. But if you don't share who you are and you keep parts of yourself hidden away, then you will never know if you're really loved. The reason for this is that in the back of your mind, whenever you hear those words, I love you, your subconscious self says, you say you love me, but if you knew this or that about me, you wouldn't. So only when you've shared it all and are loved for who and what you are, will you experience the feelings of truly being loved. God's love is unconditional. He loves us regardless and in spite of everything. His word says in John 13:35, we will be known by our love for one another. In John 15:17, Jesus commanded us to love. Are you willing to take the risk? The author of this poem is unknown, but it's called Risks. To laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing your true self. To place your ideas, your dreams before the crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risks must be taken, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, and is nothing. That person may avoid suffering and sorrow, but one cannot learn, feel, grow, love, live. Chained to their conviction, they have become a slave and forfeited their freedom. This is Lynda Lewis, reminding you to be real in your relationships. I'd rather be alone and lonely than lonely and not alone.